takes the place to Ferraris.
A transition is one of the most important techniques when you are making Formula 1 edits. These transitions, like this one, or this one, or this one, for example. In this video, I will explain all transitions I was using in my Formula 1 edits, and in that way, your videos will increase the quality massively. So stay tuned, this video is gold. My name is Dani Lozano. I am Formula 1 content creator and video editor that was creating during the last 10 years Formula 1 edits and documentaries on my main YouTube channel, Floss by Dani Lozano. So let's start with this video, Right and Path by Pierre, a super basic transition that most of the people use, not only in Formula 1 in general, that is this one. It's at the beginning of the video and the name is Fade In. From the black screen, you start to introduce the image little by little. Super easy to make. And this is a fantastic way to start an edit. If it would be in the opposite way, little by little going on to black, instead of fading will be a fade out transition. This is very interesting. In another part of the edit, I'm using first the fade out and then immediately the fade in to transitioning from one scene to another. Look at that. Here is the fade out. And now the fade in. Mixing the fade out and the fade in is good in edits or videos where you would like to let know to the viewer that between one scene into the next one are disconnected ones from each other, are separated in time. What I'm trying to explain with this transition is that these two scenes, this monument and the moment Gasly is paying tribute with flowers to one of his friends that passed away, are independent one from another. This one takes place in this city that I think is Lyon, and this is at Spa-Francorchamps during the Belgian Grand Prix. Another interesting transition, this one is named Cross Dissolve. It's to mix the ending of a piece of footage with the beginning of the next one, creating like a fusion. The scene of the onboard camera is starting to fade out, but at the same time is fading the next one. That is this scene with this field. In any moment you see a black screen instead of what happened in the fade out and fade in transition technique. That's a cross dissolve, and you can see how I repeat it again.
God, this is the best day of my life.
In this case, to try to create the effect that these plants that are complete dry and yellow, they need a bit of water, suddenly are transformed into a very beautiful green field full of white flowers around. Here once again I do it again. The cross dissolve between the flowers and the Pierre Gasly face in the podium ceremony spreading the champagne.
My life.
Another transition example, in this case is not a proper full transition because it's about the ending of the edit that I made in 2019 about Sebastian Vettel. Lost in Time is the name of the video on YouTube. This is, let's say, a transition to the end of the video. In this case, the transition is focused in the eyes of the kid. In the moment the kid closes the eyes, the screen goes to black, simulating the vision of the kid. You can use the elements you are seeing on the screen to generate transitions. Instead of doing that, you can change to another scene. It will be another transition. And also I have to say that it's synchronized with the music, the transition. The moment goes to black the screen is exactly the moment where the last note of the song that I use is play. By the way, about synchronization, music synchronization, I will place a card here and you can watch the video there. Super interesting if you want to learn how to fit properly the song, the music you have chosen in your video. Another interesting transition, I use it for the ending of the video. Team friends, Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris, an edit that I made in 2019. This is the transition, guys.
Cheers.
The transition is this circle, making it smaller and smaller until the circle eats the image. In this case, I inspired me doing that in the famous cartoon series named as Looney Tunes. They use this kind of circle transitions. and I use it for this video.
Cheers.
At the end of the day, it was a video to try to make fun and to try to make people laughing a bit, no? Between the relationship between Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris at that time in 2019, you know, when they were in McLaren. And it's funny, it's another example that you can use in your Formula 1 videos. Now I will show you more advanced transition techniques. This one works extremely good, especially in Formula 1 videos and edits. Let me show you someone that I've made recently for my latest project about Formula 1 that is named Edit Formula 1 2024 season. It's about an Oscar Piastri edit. Pay attention.
He takes the place.
What I made is to find a moment in the footage where Oscar Piastri is positioning at this side of the screen and to find a different piece of footage where is the Oscar Piastri's car in a different circuit, in a different moment in time, but the car is more or less in the same position with a similar camera angle and at the same part of the screen. I zoom in the image to make it to coincide with the same side of the car in the next sequence.
Takes the place.
And now we are in Monaco and this is the yellow livery of the Oscar Piastri's car. This is a technique, I don't know the name, I did it by myself. Basically, this is something you can use in your Formula 1 edits to increase the quality. Another example that I made as well in the Edit Formula 1 2024 season. And this is a, let's say, advanced technique once again. It's about zoom in, zoom out.
Through Carlos Sainz. Here we go. Carlos Sainz.
A zoom in into the Carlos Sainz Ferrari and zoom out that comes from the Mercedes of George Russell. What I use to create a less visible transition and to try to eliminate the effect that is a transition. Can you see the dot at the middle of the camera in this kind of camera that is placed in the Carlos Sainz Ferrari nose? I use this dot that is on black to zoom in the image into that dot on the screen. And in the next sequence, I zoom in at the beginning using the same color, the black, but not the black of the dot. The black of the George Russell car, that is the car that you can see at the front of the dot. This is the dot of the Carlos Sainz camera. And now it changed. This is the black of the Mercedes of George Russell. You are creating a transition using the zoom in and zoom out technique in a very different way. Creates an effect of continuation that is really cool for this kind of edits. This is one of my favorite techniques that I started to use very recently. I'm always trying to discover new techniques. The most important is to use your creativity. Keep finding ways to create new transitions for your Formula 1 videos. That's the way I was working on these 10 years making videos and give me millions of views. Transitions in Formula 1 videos is just one of the multiple techniques you can use. I've created this playlist where I'm showing you a lot of different techniques you can use. Here I will place a super useful video for you to reach the next level for your Formula 1 videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.